What's going on, y'all, man? Welcome back. We here for another Tuesday. If you guys are watching, if y'all could do us a favor, share the live with your friends, man. All welcome. Let's go ahead and get this party started. It's about that time. You're rocking with your boy Damo Unleash and Sky Black on the Nashville Caveman Podcast. Stay tuned.
Hey, what you got in that bag? Just know that I'm up. Just know that I'm up. I gotta turn up this function, like I'm in the Lotus and punch it. All I'm gonna ask is stay in your lane, and you won't be food for my luncheon. I'm coming up out of the dungeon, cooking up plans to make something from nothing. And since I secured the bag, it's time to do math, so I'ma keep hustling. I thought I had lost my way or something. I am not feeling what they say is busting. They keep us trapping this way, disgusting. If you so happen to catch me flexing, I could be killing the stress all day for learning how to install some chromic crystals on the Escalade. Matching the arc that's on my sternum. I am for the sake of the people. Grabbing my Glock and pray to the Lord, cause not everybody tryna be peaceful. I still hope we set the stage for showing them how it's supposed to be, so those that's close to me won't have to ask, hey, what you got in that bag? Just know that I'm up. Just know that I'm up. Hey, what you got in that bag? Just know that I'm up. Just know that I'm up. Hey, what you got in that bag? Let me explain what I'm talking about. Had a joint called down about it. Letting these loud mouths know how to move without sound. Best if we don't even shout out. Midwest, east, west, down south, till we get even or even above. Till then we gon' opt out. And educate on the backside. Folk gotta act right, and they won't backslide. Just put it together no matter the weather, my brother. So hey, if you dealing with vices in you and it's cutting you up like against you, put it on chill for real, or they gon' just use it against you. What you got in that bag? Quiet water.
Hey, what is going on, everybody, man? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Nashville Caveman Podcast. I am one half of your host, Damo Unleash, here with a good friend of mine that I consider like a brother. So I'm going to roll out the red carpet, and the floor is yours.
Well, what's up, everybody? Hey, again, happy Tuesday. We've seen a new week, a new 7 days. Hopefully, we get a chance to talk about this football turnover season we've had in these last playoffs. Man, everybody fumbling and turning over the ball, right? But tonight, don't forget the D-Bling Radio Show tonight, 7 p.m. Central Time to 9 p.m. Replay from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Central Time. That is at www.offtopradio.com. That is www.offtopradio.com. Don't forget, we're streaming too on offtoprecords.net. That is offtoprecords.net. If you have music that you want to be played, please send it to me at sky.black@gmail.com. That is sky.black@gmail.com. And after you get through with me, then we'll pass you on to Mr. Damo. He will get your music videos together, your interviews together, and we're going to get ready for the 2025 award ceremony in December, right?
Yep, and I should have country music artists included, so I'm excited about that. Want to take this time too to thank everybody that's watching us. If you're tuned in from YouTube, if you're tuned in from our Facebook page, Bigo, Twitch, wherever you're tuned in from, man, we appreciate you being here. But if you can do us a huge favor, it doesn't cost anything to do this. Share the live.
Absolutely.
Share the live so we can go ahead and grow. That's what helps us grow. So if you're a fan of the show, go ahead and share the live for us.
Absolutely. everybody on my Instagram, welcome to the Nashville Caveman podcast. So we're live on Instagram too right now. On my Instagram, we live. So, hey man, shouts out to Felicia. How you doing? Hey, I heard John Pope broke his ankle in the match. Tell him, I'm praying for him and I wish him a speedy recovery. Yeah, Damo, a friend of mine was wrestling at RWF and he broke his ankle in a match.
Man, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Praying for a speedy recovery for him.
Absolutely.
So what did you think, man? So we had the the NCAA National Football College Championship last night, which was a pretty good game. It looked like Ohio State was going to run away with it, and then Notre Dame made a game of it, and Ohio State hit one big play, and congratulations to the Buckeye Nation. They end up capturing the 2025 National Championship, so congratulations to them. My Cavaliers are still doing good. I mean, we got the brakes beat off of us last week, but we are now 30 games over 500, 36-6. So, congratulations to them. And then the football in the NFL, man, it was just a weird week. The whole Kansas City-Houston game was weird, and the Buffalo-Baltimore game was even more weird.
Man, that Rams and Detroit game, dude threw 4 interceptions and fumbled.
You talking about no? It wasn't the Rams. It was the Commanders.
Oh yeah, the Commanders. Excuse me, the Commanders. I'm thinking that team, that defense, either was well prepared and knew where he was going to go with that ball before he even knew where he was going to go with that ball, or those guys were some great athletes. Because to be where you need to be when he throws that ball and make a lot of people when the ball comes to their hand, they drop it. This is why they're defensive backs and not wide receivers. But the way they intercepted those balls, like they were wide receivers. Like those guys have some type of athleticism to them. And if that was the case, I would have kind of slowed down on trying to throw the ball downfield. After my third interception, I'd have been deaking and dunking. I don't know if I'd have went past 25, 30 yards after my third interception. But yeah, I just shouts out to the Washington Commanders. And then with the Ohio Buckeyes?
Yeah,
all they did was just keep telling folks how dominant the SEC is. I mean, the reason I believe, and this is my opinion, you can tell me if I'm wrong, Damo, but the reason I believe they expanded is because every time you was in the national championship, they were all mostly SEC teams. And mostly SEC would win the championship, right? So if you didn't have Georgia, if you didn't have Alabama and all these teams winning them, then they got Ohio State. And I forgot who Ohio. What is their conference?
The Big Ten.
The Big Ten.
Yep.
So you have Michigan, which is were they Big Ten too? I mean, not Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan Big Ten.
Hey,
Notre Dame is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they're not Big Ten, but I'm not sure. I can't remember what conference they're in anymore. So many of these teams have switched now, so it's hard to keep up.
I know. So to me, it's still, even with those two teams in there, it still just makes me still think that the SEC is still the most powerful conference, even though no one of them won the championship this year.
Right. I think that what, Sky? I think the reason why they came up with the 18 format is because they were tired of teams complaining about being on the outside because they were smaller schools. So if you don't make it within them 8 teams, you really don't have no excuse anymore. So I understand why they expanded it, because the 5th and 6th teams, they were saying, oh, it's unfair, but now you can't say that. If you're 9 or 10, it's on you. So I understand why they did it, and I agree with you when you said this last week. You were talking about how it just kind of takes away the interest in the college football ball. Like I just want to see the championship. I don't even care about the playoff. I just want to see the championship now.
Absolutely. And that's how it was with me. Even when they expanded the brackets, I never kept up with the bowl games. So this is the only game I watched was the national championship. You know what I'm saying? And again, congratulations to Ohio. But, watching Notre Dame. So you had the number 7 seed versus the number 6 seed, right?
No, it was the 5th and 6th.
It was the 5th.
So Notre Dame was 5th. Ohio State was 6th.
Absolutely. So with that being said, I didn't even know what type of game we was going to have, because usually they make their money by having the number 1 seed versus the number 1 seed, or the number 1 seed versus the number 2 seed. And this is how they make their money. But when you have the number 5th versus the number 7 seed, I didn't know how the game was going to go. But the way Notre Dame played, then I understand why they was the 7 seed. They played like they were the 7 seed. They looked like they were struggling most of that game after they scored their first touchdown on their first drive.
Yeah.
And I thought Ohio was going to just blow them out.
It looked like it for a minute, and then, in Ohio State fashion, they took the foot off the gas, and then, before you know it, it was a game all of a sudden. And you look at them stands, those Ohio State Buckeye fans were not comfortable watching that game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that was going, and it's crazy. They had the national championship on the same day that they had the presidential inauguration.
Man, so much stuff was going on, man.
Yesterday, right?
They had women's basketball on. They had college football on. They had Trump being inaugurated. I was like, it's just so much going on. Because back when I was growing up, when the president was back, everything stopped.
Right.
Everything. Other channels ran reruns. Everything stopped. And the majority of the channels, even ESPN and all that stuff, was on the inauguration. Then it's like, oh, well, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang.
Which was interesting. The whole weekend was interesting. From TikTok being banned, but not only was TikTok banned, the pornographic sites, Pornhub, RedTube, all of them were banned also.
Really?
Right? Oh yeah, they're banned right now. TikTok got a 90-day extension. Right. But as far as like the pornographic sites, they're all gone. Right? So I found that funny. Also, what I found also funny is Joe Biden giving Anthony Fauci and all of them, a protective cover. Like, none of them were charged with anything, and this dude, just gave them all where they ain't even got to worry about going to court. They ain't got to worry about it.
It's political. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. I mean, that's some power that is past my mind that goes on up in Washington, D.C., man. It's crazy.
It makes me wonder, though, if all the stuff because, man, I don't need no pardon if I'm innocent. I find it funny. I don't know why, and I don't think this is fair, that you should be able to give pardon to people who aren't even charged yet.
Right.
They're not even charged with anything. So how does a person that's not charged with anything get a pardon? Pardon from what? So then that's kind of fishy to me, man. Like, all this COVID stuff, this January 6th stuff, for these people not to be charged with anything, and now they got pardons. Now I'm scratching my hat and my head up under it.
As long as it was non-violent, if they just stormed the building and didn't put their hands on security or any of the senators, they got pardoned. But those that did anything to security or to any of the employees that was inside, they're still being charged. So if it was a non-violent, the ones that stormed, they're pardoned.
But I'm talking about Joe Biden gave pardon to the committee, the Jan 6 committee.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So that's fishy. So why would you give a pardon to people that you quote unquote deem as they ain't did nothing wrong?
Man, that we would be talking about that all show, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Sometimes some things just passed our pay grade, Damo. Like,
and that's one of them.
Stuff, man.
Something else that I found really weird, but then it really got my antennas up and I'm paying attention to it. And I don't like to dib and dabble into rumor. But I don't know if people noticed this, but Jimmy Carter, when he passed away, Barack shows up, no machine. Fine, it happens. Trump's inauguration, Barack shows up, no Michelle. Now I got questions. Because there's rumors of there possibly being a divorce. So we don't want to talk about rumors, but let's speak hypothetically. Do you think that this could be the biggest story to happen? If that's true, later on in the year, would that be the biggest story of the decade? If it turned out to be true.
Is it because it's them? Because people get divorced every day, right?
I think it's because it's them.
And so, no, I personally wouldn't be shocked, because at the end of the day, they're human beings before they're dignitaries. So whether you are a CEO or a president or a first lady, if you take those titles away, they just as normal as me and you. And people get divorced all the time. So whatever, I don't think it's infidelity or nothing that's causing the divorce. Maybe they're just growing apart. Maybe, and that's what I be like, and that's why people make fun of me when I talk about prenups and stuff. I'm like, dude, you don't know how women think 10 years from now. Divorces don't always have to be about like cheating or domestic violence or children. People just grow apart. Yeah. And so maybe that's just it. When it's political, their kids are out of the house, and kids are buffers for a lot of people. So a lot of y'all kids leave the house. Y'all really got to know each other, because if you had kids at a young age during your marriage, the kids were kind of buffers. But when the kids are gone, what they call empty nesters, that could separate y'all. So now, to me, Damo, it wouldn't be a big story. Now to everybody else, it would be.
I think it would be for me, and I'll tell you why I think it would be for me. I think it's because the pedestal that this is supposed to be the perfect, like the pedestal that they put them on. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And then not only just that, but then Bill Clinton got his thing sucked in office, and Hillary Clinton, she didn't miss no events. You know what I'm saying? And he literally, like, and I'm talking about embarrassing somebody, there gets no more embarrassing than that, right? And still, this woman stuck by this man's side. So to convince me that the Clintons have a stronger marriage than the Obamas, and that's supposed to be the model. And you're right. I'm not saying, I mean, you're absolutely right, Sky. You know what I'm saying? But this was supposed to be the model couple, even though you and I know that, man, what's on the outside and what's on the inside, man, is two different tales.
Absolutely. What's going on behind closed doors, we'll never know. That's why doors have two sides to them, right? What's up, Trill? But see, and that's the thing, though. And as humans, why do we do that? Why do we put anybody, any couple on a pedestal that they don't belong on? I mean, it was good while it lasted, if this is true, but they're still humans at the end of the day.
Right.
So that's why I said, to me, as human beings, people get divorced all the time. So if they're coming to a point where they're just growing apart, then it's okay. You get ready for the next part of your life.
Yep.
But politically, maybe the Republicans would use that and say, hey, if the new Kennedys, right, can't stay together, then who are they going to have represent the Democratic Party that's going to make y'all believe that the Democrats is good for the people? I'm just throwing that out. So, who knows? Because every time Trump and what's his wife's name? What's Trump's wife's name?
Oh, Melania.
Melania had any issues, the Democrats used that. So so vice versa, tick for tat. Maybe it would be used as a political jab, so to speak. But other than that, people get divorced all the time, man. I'm just like, okay, well, Michelle will go do her thing, Barack will go do his thing, and it'd be all good.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? I wish it wasn't on that kind of stage, because there's already a perception when it comes to black marriage.
Absolutely, and whether
so it could be another stain on, and embarrassing. I don't even think it's embarrassing just on their part. I think as far as the community. Right. I think it's just an embarrassing thing.
And you can't ask them to be the pillar of millions of black marriages. That's unsustainable. Right. Yeah.
And it's not fair. And it's not fair, unfortunately. Y'all, we got good topics on deck today. So
Miranda G, how you
let me go ahead and read off.
I'm okay. I hope you're having a good day. Sorry, Damon. Go ahead.
No, you're good, brother. So here's what we got on deck for today. A woman says it's not her job to disclose her being HIV positive. Then we got the question. Is not, and this ain't regarding that, but it's something else. Is she right or is she wrong? You know, we do that every week. Being a wife on paper does not qualify you as being a wife.
Right.
So a video on that. Get this, the sophisticated women bodysuits. So we were talking about this last week, right? So I brought this video that I'm going to share on here. We'll probably start off with that. If you use a man for his money, you have no business about the way he treats you or disagree with that statement. And also, again, the United States ban on TikTok and pornographic sites. Also, we're going to talk about Sky. We were talking about before the show.
Hello, face.
We found out was a rumor, but they were talking about Trump tweeted, which isn't true, that all women that put their baby father on child support would not be eligible for claiming their children on their taxes. Yeah. They wouldn't be allowed to. Well, that's not true, but I still thought that was an interesting topic to talk about. So we want to definitely go ahead and talk about that.
What's up, panel? I'm sorry, go ahead, Damon.
No, you good, brother. But before we go ahead and do all that, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to play a new song, man. This is a new song by Fatboy Duke, man. Shout out to Fatboy Duke in Nashville, Tennessee. Man, we're going to be right back. So let's go ahead and get a song in. Y'all know I like promoting musicians. We get that done first, and then we're going to go ahead and get into the subject.
Traveling down this dark road for so long. Yes. Still searching for love, these hoes are so cold. Yes. Trade love for lust, it's getting so old. So many lost souls sucking my pain away. Yeah. When I look in the mirror, don't even know my face. All I see is heartache and a lot of pain. I wanna give up, go to a quiet place. Yeah. The Lord help me take this pain away. Please. All I want is some peace. All my life I've been searching for me. All my life I've been a slave to the streets. So please, Lord, let me be free. Hey. I'm searching for me. Driving down this lonely road. I really don't know where I'm going. I'm driving with my eyes closed. And all I see, a reflection of me. A reflection of me. A reflection of me. I'm really trying to change, Lord. I accept my wrong. This life is so hard, I'm just trying to be strong. Never giving up, but even the strong get weak. I'm at war with myself, I'm my own worst enemy. Feel like I'm dying inside. I can't stop these tears coming from my eyes. I'm just searching for peace, I'm just searching for me. I'm searching for me. Hey. Driving down this lonely road, I really don't know where I'm going. I'm driving
All right, y'all, man. That was Reflections.
I know him as Big Boss Man. So sometimes he calls himself Fat Boy Duke. Sometimes it's Big Boss Man. But Big Boss Man, shouts out to you. He's been doing music in the Nashville scene for a long time. Me, him, and Rob. You know him as Big Rob. Big Rob, me, Michael Anderson, Big Boss Man. We all used to click up and do music and travel and stuff up and down these roads together. So shouts out to him for doing new music, doing the video, and if you have music, I'll just hit him up on Facebook and tell him to send it to me. You know? If he's watching, send me music. If not, I'll just hit you up on Facebook and get the information. Yeah,
I'm actually, man, I'm most definitely a fan, and I got to meet him. It was funny, man. At my place of employment, I ran into him, and I was like, wow, small world. So, man, he's really been cool, man. Me and him trying to actually set it up. We need to get together so I can get his interview going, and I'm looking forward to it. So, yeah, that was Fat Boy Duke, man. Reflections, man. A big fan of that song. We're gonna be playing it a lot, but now we about to get off into something very interesting, man. Y'all, we was talking about these bodysuits last week, right? And without further ado, let me pull this up. And I want to show y'all what we meant when we were talking about these bodysuits. So let me cut this music.
What's up, DJ? And why? Hey, shouts out to you and tell your mom and dad we said hello.
So I don't know if y'all watch. I'm gonna play this again, right? So look at this.
This is a man in a bodysuit.
A man in a woman's bodysuit. Got the fake, but now you can look at the neck area and see. You know, but if you're in the club, you ain't really seeing that all like that.
There's dog in these clubs, right? You got on sunglasses. Most people walk in the club with sunglasses, and you're inebriated, so you don't know that's a man.
Ain't that scary,
Absolutely,
man?
that's real scary.
And this is why I was talking about why I do not like makeup. Because look at this again. And he had so much on, he was able to use a body towel to wipe it off.
So you saw this at Keller's DJ when you was a bouncer? This, I never thought I would live to see this, because back when I was growing up, we called men sissies. That means they just had female tendencies. They would twitch. They would wear tight clothes. They would even probably put tissue up in their chest area to look like, but you can still tell from a mile away those are men. This is ridiculous. This is crazy.
That's scary. And what people don't know, with a lot of these, they have the pocket vagina. So you could actually have sex with one of these. Somebody could put one of these suits on, and if you're inebriated enough, you don't even know that you're having sex with somebody in a bodysuit.
Well, you know what? Even if you're not inebriated, let's just play devil's advocate. Let's say you're somebody who don't have sex a lot, right? Let's say you only have sex once every 5 years. If you really want it that bad, I don't know if you could tell the difference if you ain't having sex all the time, right?
That's the other. We was talking about that last week, you know, about the dudes that go in and chop, and you just don't know.
But then once you find out, how do you live with yourself, right? So I think one of the topics we might talk about, if you have, because I think I saw that video, if you have HIV, should she disclose it, you know, or when should you disclose it? When should people disclose this? Because I don't know what's worse, sleeping with a woman that has HIV and she ain't told me, or sleeping with a woman that's literally a man and he ain't told me. Like, what is worse?
Right. Both of them. I think deception is deception. Right. I think, man, if you started off with a lie, you know, you lie to somebody, you ask for trouble. Because you just don't know people's mental state or nothing like that.
Absolutely. People have reputations. And if it gets out that somebody of a high standard is sleeping with this ain't even cross dressing anymore. This is gone past cross dressing. You know, you went from being a sissy to a cross dresser to this is a woman. I'm sorry. I know it's a man of birth, but that's a woman. Like you've gone completely to the point where you have fooled at least 80% of the people. 8 out of 10 men would tell you that was a woman.
You know what? And David Lackey Jr. was saying, if you look it up by the neck, you can see the flat. Now that they wearing a turtleneck.
Yeah. And David is right, but even with
that's the name, she wearing the
even
turtleneck.
with that, I still can't tell because it's not like you can see like an Adam's apple. That looks like a normal neck, even though it's a prosthetic, but it looks like a normal neck. Like this is, until he started peeling the face, that looks like it's all blended in. You know, like sometimes people can wear things and you can tell where the line meets and your real skin and your face. That whoever makeup artist is in Hollywood. This was done excellent. I don't know how much he paid to have this bodysuit and this makeup done on. This is crazy.
And a person can fix their hair to where it could just cover it up.
Yeah. They got what about women that wear bangs?
Like this scary.
Back in the day, we used to have these little girls. They used to have bangs. If some of y'all don't know what bangs are, and they used to look cute. Right. Now they probably wearing bangs to cover up, like you're saying, where the prosthetic meets the skin, and you can't tell because they have bangs covering up.
Yeah, that's some scary stuff.
That is crazy.
That's terrifying to me. That's why I don't like makeup, though, Sky. It just reaffirms why I do not like. I've never liked makeup.
Absolutely.
Because I think makeup is the line that allows. That's where that thin line is. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of natural women that actually look like trans. I'm just gonna be honest. A lot of them look like trans.
Absolutely.
And so it's scary, man. That's scary times. These are scary times, man.
It is because now you have young boys that are on the fence. I always talk about how people's sexuality gets started, and a lot of people don't understand that. Usually, when I was coming up, the boys stay with the boys, the girls stay with the girls. Right now, in this era,
right,
if you do that, when boys get of age to want to know things, they're kind of practicing on each other. I know that sounds disgusting, but it is. Girls, if they have boys to kiss on, they either kissing on the mirror or they kissing on each other, right? So this is how.
Or they die, or they right. So you're right.
A girl that's 13 years old and kissed another 13-year-old girl, and then she don't know if she's gay, bisexual, or what. So a little boy that's growing up not knowing what his sexuality is, thinking, well, hell, one day I can be a girl and one day I can be a boy, like a damn transformer. You know what I'm saying? Like, have an Autobot sign and Decepticon sign on. You know what I'm saying? This is
not Autobot.
Yeah, that's what scares me because during the day he can work at a cubicle and be a man and be a father, but at night on the weekends he's telling his wife he's going to work or whatever, and she probably think he's cheating with a mistress. He's going to put on this makeup, going into the club, and looking for a man.
You're right. Man, I'm telling you, you know what, Sky? I'm so glad that I was born in the era that I was born in. You hear me? Lord Jesus, thank you, Lord.
I agree because I don't. I mean, again, I can't knock people that whatever they need to do to live on this earth, because it's hard living on this earth. And dressing up like a woman,
you earn the right to live the lifestyle you want.
If dressing up like a woman stops you from killing people, robbing people, doing crime, that's absolutely fine because you ain't hurting nobody. Just now, those that was on the borderline of, is this wrong? Is this right? When you see stuff like that, now they're teeter on to that side because it's like, well, hell, let's go.
Yeah.
Who gonna recognize me? Who even his friends probably didn't even recognize who he was if he was out dressed like that. His own mom and daddy probably wouldn't even know who he was dressed like that.
Man, that's a dangerous game to play, though. This next story is a dangerous game to play too, because I want y'all to listen to this, and there's people out here that really, I wish she would have took her own advice. I'm just gonna say that. But without further ado, let me go ahead, play the clip.
I'm HIV positive, right? And this is just a PSA to those that are not HIV positive. Disclosure is my choice. When I disclose and how I disclose and who I disclose to is up to me. I find it so crazy how people are telling me that I need to disclose before I go on a date, that I need to disclose before I kiss somebody. This is the craziest one. Before I even tell them my name. It's not happening. I don't think that it's my responsibility to tell someone that I'm HIV positive if they are treating me as if I'm not. Your health is your responsibility. Adopt the mindset of medical practitioners. Assume that everyone has something until they prove to you that they do not. Why are you kissing a stranger or trying to kiss a stranger that you just met? Why are you trying to have intercourse with someone raw that you just met? You don't know me from a hole in a wall. Why are you trying to put your thing inside of me without any kind of protection? Why do I have to be the one to say, hey, chill out, I'm HIV positive, instead of you asking, taking the time to know me, get to know me, let's go get tested together if you want to take the next step. Why do I have to be the one protecting you from yourself? No, baby, that is not my responsibility. And I just wanted to make that clear. Okay, I'm HIV.
What's up, Johnny Demento?
So just go ahead.
Yeah. Now I was saying what's up to Mr. Demento on Instagram. Go ahead, Damo.
I just want to say this, right? It would have been nice if she would have took her own advice. Like, why didn't she do none of them things? Why didn't she go before she had intercourse with the person she had intercourse with? Why didn't she go to the doctor and both get tested? Why didn't she require them to wear a condom? Why didn't she do that? Why didn't she get to know them before she allowed them to smash?
Absolutely.
So why is she giving out this advice after she done got it? I mean, it's great advice, but it would have been better advice if she had applied it herself.
I can see it on both ends. I can see that she's right. So Lynn, she's right. Stop trying to stick your thing in everything that's walking on the first date. Stop trying to kiss everything on the first date. We just seen the last topic where this man pulled off this damn bodysuit. So stop. I mean, if your sex drive is that high, you need to just go get one of them things. You see them things they created, Damo? $175,000. A real woman now.
I seen that.
$175,000. You can put her any way you want. Wig, color, eyes. She will get up and cook. I'm serious now. This ain't a sex doll. This woman will learn your mannerisms. She will cook. She will do this. She will make up the bed. She will be like a real woman. If your sex drive is that high, go get something like that. Now, as far as her, let me say something. If it was me, right, and I'm not trying to have sex with her, I'm not trying to kiss her, we're not dating, we're just friends, yes, you can keep that to yourself because that's none of my damn business. Absolutely. But most people know by the third or fourth date if they're going to move forward. If you feel like, hey, I want to be with Sky Black and I want to date him, then yes, I need you to say it now. Don't wait until 7 months down the line and, shit just goes south. But if I'm just your friend, and we just hang out and have ice cream together, go to the movies, and me and you ain't even on that level, then no, you don't have to tell me nothing. That's your personal business. But anytime she's about to go into a relationship, whether she's had sex or not, I do believe that's one of the first things you should tell somebody. Because even if y'all wait 7 months to have sex, and you tell them you wasted that man 7 months because he's like, well, damn, I already touched you. I could have been doing something else for 7 months. So don't waste each other's time. I think that's the problem I'm trying to say. Don't waste each other's time. There's a lot of them out here, Damo, that's walking around with HIV that don't even know it.
You know what's so crazy? And I don't think she should be upset at this. If she don't disclose it at first, and then she get to where she just like into a person, like she likes a person, very interested in it. And then one day they find out, and then they just cut her off on social media, don't return her calls. I think she earned it. I think they have the right then to treat you the same way, to treat you as such.
Absolutely.
You weren't open out the gate with them. I think if they cut you off and just went on their way, that they have the right to do so.
Absolutely, because it's just some things I do believe in right and wrong. And I mean, it's not even just HIV. If you have full-blown AIDS, if you have herpes, if you have syphilis, whatever you have, if you feel like you are about to be starting to date somebody, you need to tell it up front, or both of y'all can go get tested and you both learn up front. But the problem with society is everybody wants to have sex night number 3. and I'm thinking, I want to know you for 3 days and you want, nah, hell no, what kind of shit is that? That don't even make sense.
But that's why a majority of relationships never last, because they're built off of lust. People don't really take the time to really get to know each other.
Absolutely.
You know?
And so if y'all just, like I said, if y'all just that horny, they will specially send y'all this woman in a box. Ain't nobody touched her. Ain't nobody been inside of her. She will look the way you want her to look. And that way you can just hump and hump till you can't hump no more. You ain't got to worry about nobody. She will cheat on you. She never do nothing.
You know what, Sky? Let me tell you. You giving me some real business ideas. You know, I may get one of these and then pimp it up. You know what I'm saying? You know, give me $40. You go ahead and take this in the room. I'll be on the outside. You do whatever you want with it. And then after you done, I just clean it up, take it, wash it, you know, some rubbing alcohol wipes or whatever I got to do. Next, and get another $40. That could be a real business, man. Let me tell y'all my
But here's
idea.
the thing, could you imagine? I used to watch a show on HBO back in the day called Hookers on the Point. It was about the prostitutes in Las Vegas back in the late 80s, early 90s. Could you imagine pulling up and not knowing if that's a real woman or if that's a AI woman? Or would you even care? Would you even care? If she walked to the door, opened up and said, would you be like, hold on, tap on the head, are you real or are you fake? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
And Sky, it's like I said last week. You got to ask the woman if she was born a woman nowadays.
That is absolutely crazy. And then
you got to ask them that nowadays.
And then they go
and AI ain't even. I was gonna say AI ain't even popular as it's going to be yet. I mean, we know this stuff is in production right now, but it hasn't really hit the market yet. So even before this stuff hit the market, we got to literally ask every woman, were you born a woman?
And you know, they're going to treat it like a car. You know how you buy a car? You don't have to go back to the manufacturer to get tires and stuff. You can go to AutoZone, you can go to O'Reilly's, you can go to Walmart. So imagine when they have what they call aftermarket places for your AI wife. So this, you don't have to go to the balance to buy anything. You will go to Walmart and there'll be a section that says AI wife, and you would go buy her new wig, new clothes, new shoes, new socks. Like, this is going to be the craziest next 20 years of people's lives.
It sure is. It sure is. Especially more and more dudes getting away from wanting to be married. More and more women are too. I see more videos of women saying, you don't need a man and all this. And dudes saying it ain't worth it to get married because, man, she gonna take half of my stuff. Even if I come up to be anything, she gonna take half of it the moment she unhappy. So with this discussion, this stuff is becoming more and more of a reality.
Right. And a lot of them are right, but I think a lot of them don't take the time to vet either. I think some people are just in a rush for sex and marriage, and they don't take the time. Because a lot of them are right. Your woman after 10 years probably will leave you. You know, I'm just saying. But if you take the time, and a lot of times I hear that demo is from younger people, 18 to 35.
Yeah.
But
why do you think that is?
To their 50s and 60s, like Lisa Ray, she's looking for a long-term relationship. She's looking to be married and be with just one person. Once you get older, your body ain't gonna let you hop around like you used to and sleep with this person, that person, and rip and run. You're gonna eventually need to settle down. I don't care if you're 60. Settle down with one person who's gonna be there
But it's too
Yeah,
late.
sometimes, but some people will be too late. So just be careful what y'all are looking for, young people, because unless you're gonna die, you're gonna get older. Them the only two options. You either gonna die or you're gonna get older. And if you plan on getting older, as you get older, you might have to change some of those thinkings. I used to think like that too, Damo. Marriage is crazy. I'll never get married. This don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? I used to think just like that when I was in my 20s. I'll never marry.
Man, I tell you what, when I was in my 20s, I always knew I was gonna get married. Because first and foremost, I always thought about this. I'm gonna make this real quick because I want to make sure I get to these other stories. I always thought of it like this. I want to have access to my kids. I know what it was like to be raised in a single parent home, and I didn't want my kids to go through the same thing. So my mindset was, before I had kids, I had to get married. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Right? Because I didn't want another man coming in and having more access to my kids than I do. Because if that's the case, why have kids at all? Why have kids only for another man to come in and have more access to my kids than I got? Because that's what happens. And if you got daughters, which what I got, one thing I didn't want to have is a man that didn't have no emotional connection as far as like a father-child to my kid, anymore looked at them like they were just other women. Because now you're getting into molestation and all this other stuff. Him looking at them in a weird way. So I always thought about that. So I always knew it was in my, in the future. I knew that's what I was going to do in my 20s. But with that said, in my 40s and 50s, I couldn't see myself if I was a bachelor getting married. Why? What would I get out of it? Because now I got a verbal contract that I'm only going to be with you for what? Just to have you nagging and bothering me, where you going, what you doing, and all that. You know, man, if I'm single for so long, I might as well, companionship, people think companionship, you can get that outside of a marriage. Companionship is not just down to marriage. You can find that in other ways. Most people just don't realize that. Because, man, we go off of other people. We see what's going on with other people and we want to be like them. And really just understanding what it is to make us happy. But I drew that out longer than I wanted to. But I do want to get to this, right? So let me scroll up and get the title of this. All right. So this woman says, if you're using a dude, you can't get mad about how he treats you. So I want to play what she said, and then we're going to discuss this. So without further ado, just go ahead.
If you're using him, then you can't be mad at how he treats you. If you getting, I told him to stay face since I was
real shit. That's real shit, though.
Never am I gonna sit here and let you be thinking you like finessing a dude, and in reality, you getting used up. You running yourself down. You wasting your own time. You look crazy. If you using him, then you can't be mad at how he treats you. If you getting, I told him to stay.
All right. So,
does he know he's being used or no? Because some men don't know they're being used, so they're not gonna mistreat you if they don't think they're being used, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. There's a lot of dudes that they just, a lot of dudes know and just don't care. There's a lot of dudes know that the female using them for, like, if your stomach's so far out you can't see your feet, but you balling in money. And you with this fine tenderoni, well, she not with you for your looks. You know what I mean? And common sense. She ain't with you because of where you look. Like, Biggie had to know that Faith Evans and Lil' Kim wasn't with him because of the way he looked.
Charlie Baltimore.
They didn't know if he was looking at him or not. They didn't know if he was looking at them or he was looking over at somebody over here.
And don't forget about Charlie Baltimore. He was with her too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm quite sure they wasn't with Biggie because of his looks. Seal's wife is beautiful. She wasn't with Seal because of the way he looked. Come on now. She knew who Seal was. She knew Jay-Z. Now, looking at Jay-Z and Beyonce, Jay-Z, we we know that she ain't with him because of his looks. Them lips, them big ass lips coming at you puckered up. You ain't, nah, man. I'm quite sure that's a scary look to her. But she with him for other reasons. I mean, the dude got money and he can, afford her a lifestyle that she, thinks she deserves. So of course she gonna be with him. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of dudes know they're being used. They know if they ain't had no money, the chick that they with would not be with them. But
I was just agreeing, absolutely. But let's say it's not money. How else can a chick use you? Let's say she has her own money, right? And let's just say at the time Beyonce had a little money. She could have just used Jay-Z for his clout to get to where she's at, because she might not need his money.
Yeah.
So the average guy, let's say the girl has money or she don't need him for his money. How else can a woman use you if it's not about money?
The D. The D. If that D is put on her good enough where she like, man, I've been with 30 dudes and not one of them 30 put it on me like you did. Women use dudes for that all the time, especially them cougars. You know what I'm saying? Because they pay for a dude's school tuition, PS5. He ain't got no job. She know he can't buy that. So women find other means to use dudes. You know what I'm saying? And money and then
Gotcha. Okay.
So they use a dude. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So if a dude, if he know and he just do him and dog him any kind of way, if she using them, I don't think she could get mad at that.
Right.
I don't think she.
But then why can't it just be? Why is everybody hiding their intentions? Right? Why can't it be a verbal contract that you do this for me, I give you that, and this is what it's all about? What you do outside of this contract is on you. Just don't bring me back anything, I guess. And what I decide to do, because he might not be the only tenderoni that she has. If it's a cougar, she might have 2 or 3 other men, and he might. So I mean, instead of just playing with each other like kids, just be honest in an adult way and say, this is what this is.
Most people don't even have adult relationships. Right. Think about it. If you really think about how a relationship is supposed to go, it's more like a child relationship than an adult relationship. Because how many people really go from dating into getting to know each other into a relationship into growing even more into a marriage? Most people just date like they still in high school. So that's why it don't work for them. And that's why they can't even come together and communicate their wants and needs, because a lot of people still have the emotional health of a high school.
Right. So then let me ask you something else. I want to be off topic. So I've heard 2 different women, and Lisa Ray was one of them, that said about, I am a woman who's used to a certain lifestyle, right? If you can't afford it,
right,
don't even approach me. Like if you have to use your whole paycheck, take me out the money. I'm not the type of woman for you. What do you think about that? Like, is her being honest like that? Is that a good thing? Because that's what I'm looking for. Women that are honest. If this is a woman who goes to Paris for breakfast and goes to Italy for lunch and then go to Africa for dinner and then fly back home the same night, if you can't afford that lifestyle for her, don't approach her.
You know what? I think she has every right to feel like that. But with that said, she should then not hold it against me if I said, well, I can afford you that lifestyle, but I'd rather have somebody 25. You're used up. Too many, you've been used up too much. I think that I worked hard enough for my money that I earned the right to date this fine 25-year-old. I shouldn't be bashful. Because I'm not obligated. I don't owe you to give you that lifestyle.
Right.
Because I got to this level, I should be able to pick, from what I like. Just like you think you deserve this. Well, because I got the money, I think I deserve that. Right. You can have all the preferences you want. That doesn't mean that other people have to meet them.
Well, I just thought that was just because now with them saying this, how it has trickled down to the average woman talking about you can't take me to Red Lobster on the first date, you can't take me to Charlie's on the
And
first
that's why
date.
they're gonna die
It's
single.
like, well, what is it that you want that's going to be a first date? You want $600-700 pair of Louis Vuitton shoes on the first date? Then what do you think the man is going to want out of it too? Because that's an investment that he didn't put in you for you to go on a date with another dude with these $600 shoes that I just bought you.
You know what, Sky? I think of it just like this, right? You can have all the preferences you want. I don't have to meet them. I could go and get what I want. If you know what, if you can have your preferences and you the results that you're looking for, fine. But if it don't, eat it up. Don't be bitter about it. Don't point blame, because everybody is allowed to have their preference. So you got your preferences, fine. I respect other people's preferences. If I don't want to deal with that, guess what I'm not going to do?
I'm not going to deal with it.
Deal with that. I ain't got to deal with that. You be how you are then. And let's see if it yields you the results that you're seeking. And if it don't, then the person that's the issue is who? You.
Absolutely. But I just wanted to throw that out there on what you thought about that. Because I always talk about how I want women that's honest up front. And if she's honest with me up front, like, if you don't let the type of money, I'm like, you know what? Hey, I ain't mad at you. I can keep this little chump change and go down to the girl that wants the Taco Bell.
Absolutely. Right. It's just like if I go to a car lot and I see a car I want, and then the dealer telling me, well, for this car, it's going to be $30,000. And then I see a car that's maybe not exactly as like that, but then there's close to, and it's $10,000. Guess what I can do?
$10,000.
I could take my bag of money and go down the street.
Absolutely.
I don't have to invest into that. So that's what men be having, and I think men, we need to stop doing this. We need to quit getting in the comment section and voicing our opinions, because it's a moot point. It ain't going to change anything or anything. Just move away from that.
Absolutely.
You ain't got to say nothing. You ain't got to voice your opinion. Just say, well, I'm just not going to deal with that. Well, if you be solo all your life, then when you fall and you break your hip and they come up 4 or 5 days later to find you laying there, that's on you. That's on you. A dude don't have to put up with you. We don't. It's and vice versa. A woman don't have to put up with a dude. If you think you could go on, fine. And
it's crazy because right now online they got a lot of single 50 and 60-year-old women who are just begging for well, I won't say companionship, but marriage and a good man and all these things, because for some reason, like you said, people don't want to marry, people don't want to settle down. But there are some folks that's like, look, I'm getting too old to be out here dating. I need to find that one Johnny B. Lately guy to come in, and at least if it's just platonic, so I don't grow old and die alone.
A lot of these women, I'm just gonna say that, and I'm quite sure they could say it on the other end, but many of them aren't pleasant to be around. Outside of there being a physical need, they aren't pleasant to be around. There's not a lot of females that you can find to say, you know what, me and her can vibe. We got a lot in common, whether it be art, whether it be sports, no matter what, politics. There's not a lot, because that's what people really need to find out when they get to know somebody. If you take away the sex, how will we get along?
Absolutely.
What do we have in common? Because the sex was what cloud people's mind and would, mess people up anyway. Take that away. Because just like you was talking about the empty nest thing, right? When the kids leave, you really find out what kind of relationship you have with the person you with. Well, you can find that out in the dating stages. If you should do your due diligence to find that out in the relationship stages. But people don't, because they just happy to be with somebody because look at me, I'm with somebody, I'm not lonely anymore. Because people's biggest fear isn't death, it's lonely.
Ain't that crazy?
Just like you were saying, you was like, man, I had to be lonely and learn myself, and that's going to help you. A lot of people ain't wired like that. They don't even like their own company.
And back in the day, the women that I could vibe with and just talk to, I never had sex with them and never wanted to, because we would be like, sex would just ruin our friendship. Being boyfriend and girlfriend, if we broke up, we would hate each other and not want to talk to each other. So ain't that crazy? You hit that right on the head.
But you know why that is, though?
That makes no sense.
You know why that is, though? It's because, man, people allow the sex part to cloud their judgment. If a person is, you want to have sex with somebody you friends with. Because if y'all really friends, guess what? Y'all got both each other's best interests at heart. You don't want to have sex with somebody that you don't have no really connection with on that level or friendship level. The best marriages, I think, females used to tell me that, and I look at them now, and I'll be like, damn, they still single. The ones that be like, well, we're just good friends, and I don't want to mess up our friendship. Well, guess what? Your wife is your what?
Best friend.
Best friend. But they don't get it. And you know why they don't get it? Because they weren't raised in a house with a man and a woman. They didn't get to see how that whole dynamic worked. And it was a scapegoat to say, I want to let you down easy. I'm not interested, but I just want to let you down easy. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that is the point. Our job is to mate. That's why we were created. We were created to mate, not to be, like friends and whatnot. I don't even call females, look, we're associates. You're not my friend. I can't call on you. Man, if I break down, I can't call on you to come check in on me. Friends, I'm not going shoe shopping with you. We're not going to hang out. Why would I want to go hang out with you if this is my best friend? I already got one of those. So what do I need you for?
I never looked at it that way, Damo. You made me look at it in a different light. I never thought about it that way. But that's just how I was anyway. Yeah. I'll be like, hey, we cool.
I used to have female friends all the time.
We go bowling, we go to the movie. And people thought we were a couple because we hung out all the time. But we're like, no, couple. You want to talk to her, go talk to her. You know what I'm saying? We just thought the sex part would mess up everything.
Man, it's supposed to, you know what? I'm sorry, y'all. That's supposed to be there. What I refuse and what I got tired of is you complaining to me about a dude you with. I don't want you complaining to me about how a dog of a dude is, and I'm sitting here like I'm a good dude, and we get along. You know what I'm saying?
I wish I had a journal for every girl that did that. What you just said. I could have wrote a book now.
They put me in certain zones and leave them there. You a good dude. This is why I don't have empathy for females and sympathy for females that have bad relationship after bad relationship after bad relationship. Because every female I know turned down at some point a good dude. They all have come across or know a dude. They know a dude, a stand-up dude. But because of they dismissed them. Absolutely. Well, you put that on your preference. That's on your preference. That ain't got nothing to do with anybody else. It's your preference that's the problem.
And what's the term they were using? They were like, he's either not my type or I don't like him like that.
Yeah.
I don't like him like that. Like him like what? Or he's not my type. Okay, fine. It is what it is.
So when you're getting dogs, you know what I'm saying? Don't come Absolutely. Back. A lot of females, you don't qualify for them until you can put them in a position that they couldn't or no other dude could. Now they want to come back. Well, don't get mad now because I'm blowing you off the way you used to blow me off.
Absolutely.
You had that right. You had the right to blow me off. I also have the right to also then blow you off. Equality. I'm all for equality.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You blew me off back in the 90s. I'm going to blow you off in the 2000s.
I built myself to be in this position. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I worked hard to be in this position to one day be able to get what I want just the way that you were able at one point to get what you want.
Absolutely.
Now, this next one, this is Sky. Is she right or is she wrong? I want y'all to listen to this, and Sky, we're going to discuss it.
Here we go.
You marry a woman that's been with 10 different men. That's a lot of imprinting. Because for a woman, sex changes your DNA. Wow. It changes it. It alters it. This is biologically proven. So you're being imprinted. I would rather be imprinted by the man that I'm marrying and not engage in sort of like a psychological, biological, spiritual orgy. Because now, a lot of times you wonder why relationships are not working because they're comparing you with other lovers. And because everything happens at a psychological, subconscious level, sometimes people are not able to access why they treat you or respond to you in a certain way when the response is coming from all of these other experiences that they've had. You marry a woman that's been...
All right. She said about bull.
Yeah, but I saw online this guy that was saying that he couldn't date a woman or couldn't marry a woman that didn't have at least 20 bodies, because when it comes to the bedroom, he ain't got time to be teaching these girls. He needs a woman who's experienced and ready when the bell rings, get going. You know what I'm saying? So there are some guys out there that don't mind or don't care who all you slept with, because they're like, okay, that's your past. As long as you ain't carrying no diseases, I don't care. It lets me know that you're experienced. Let's go. But then there are some guys, like she said, you tell a guy you slept with 10 people and he's a good guy, that's going to be on his mind for a while. That's going to be on his mind for a while. Like, man, she slept with 10 people. And let's just say you're 25 and you slept with 10 people. Like, damn, from 18 to 25, she didn't sleep with 10 people. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so sometimes it just depends on who you're trying to go after, on whether I would disclose that or not. Because if I was a woman who slept with 10 to 20 people, unless he asked, I don't think I would disclose it.
I'll say this. For the dudes that saying, well, I need a woman that's experienced. I need her to have some experience. When y'all listen to a dude to tell y'all that, here's what I need y'all to do. I want y'all to take advice from Cat Daddy, all right? Ask him if he married. Because if that's coming from a guy that's single, man, what are you talking about? You ain't married a female yet. So you can't tell me about, man, the female having this experience or that experience and not mattering if you're not even married. You ain't even picked one yet. So I think it's cool to hear from guys like that. But ladies, I'm just telling y'all, when a guy tell you that, ask and see if he married. Because if he ain't found nobody and he ain't married, his point is mute. All right? For the most part, dudes want, because we don't want to be, Sky, you can tell, if we had an event, one thing, say we had a big music event, one of the biggest events in the world, one thing we don't want at that event is other men whispering about our women.
Right. I mean, the craziest part is like the wrestling scene that I'm in. A lot of these girls can't get married or be in relationships because when you bring them somewhere, there's at least 4 or 5 other wrestlers or people in the crowd saying, I used to sleep with her. I know she was like naked. I know what her tattoo is. She, she slept with such and such a couple of years ago. She been with this person. She been with that person. So yeah. Nobody wants to bring a woman around or marry a woman if half the people in the building know you, know your business, or have slept with you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. I think she was talking about sex directly. That's exactly what she was talking about. She was talking about how when they have sex with different partners, everybody that they have, because females got to look at it like this. And men need to understand this too. When men have sex with women, they are dominating that woman. When that woman is having sex with that man, she is being dominated by that man. That is why a lot of dudes don't handle well when women have a lot of partners, because it's an indication that she was dominated and gave herself unto a lot of dudes. And it's vice versa the other way around. So that's the difference. But she's talking about how the more partners that females have, the more of a hard time they have as far as like, man, having a solid relationship with a dude, because they always comparing their lovers to the dude they're with. So the more partners they have, the more comparison that their lover's going to have, or the dude they with going to have to their previous lovers. And that's where it gets bad from a mental standpoint.
I can agree with that. I mean, sometimes men don't want a woman that's had a lot of bodies or a lot of kids, you know.
Yeah.
But sorry guys, we don't live in them terms where the father makes sure that the daughter is not having sex and she's a virgin, and that the father will go out and pick a good man for his daughter, or a man he thinks is going to keep the family legacy going. Sorry, we don't live in those times no more. These girls
but we got to get back to them, though. I would say this. You're right, Sky. We are so far away from that. But I do think that, you know, and I think individual by individual, right? If we really want to fix and we want to turn the community to go in the right direction, then we need to get back to that. We need to get back through the girls going through a father or a son, a brother even, to help them. Because a lot of females picking on their own, they are not good judges of character.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's only talking about sex. But you're right, Faith. There are other things as well.
Yeah, but the days though, these girls are having sex at 14, 15 years old because they're being raised by single parents. The mama's at work or she's gone, and that girl at 16, now she got iPhones and iPads and cell phones. See, we didn't have that back then. Your daughter wasn't able to contact anybody down the street or on the other side of the world because we didn't have that technology back then. Now, when your children, when you're gone or they upstairs in their room with their door closed and you think they're doing their homework, they're plotting on when they're going to get their first kiss, their first hunch, their first this. And then by the time they turn 21, it's like, okay, well, I've been doing this since I was 16. Why stop now? So I don't know. Even if we get a 2-parent household, you got to get your kids off TV because BET is terrible. You got to get them off these phones, these tablets, and go back to how we were back in the day. Because if you
think about this, guy, if you think about this also, right? Mm-hmm. Now they don't even have to be sexually active. No. Their reputation can be ruined just by, and we've seen people that date, they do what? They take shots of themselves. Mm-hmm. They take photos, send naked photos of themselves. Right? Once you do that, you out there. You out there. You can be on the internet out there forever. That's the reason why they ban these pornographic sites. Because all the child pornography. But there were some people that, you know, they were on there, you know, in any, whatever this, regardless of the situation, they're on the internet forever. So you're right. We didn't have this stuff. We didn't have to deal with this once upon a time ago. But I try to tell females this, and I know females, they hate listening to dudes when we say this, but I'm telling you, man, it matters to the majority of dudes. You think not? Then go ahead and build something with a dude and have a pass, and then let that pass come out, and let's see if he still marry you or not. He may still be in a relationship with you, but let's see if he'll marry you.
Mm-hmm. That's the ultimate thing.
That's the ultimate goal.
It's trying to find somebody who chooses to be with you. And so a lot of good dudes, man, we have preferences, man. You can't have a lot of kids. You can't have a lot of sleeping bodies. You can't have nasty attitudes. You can't be what I call a money pit. You know, every time money comes to the household, it's going out because of all the stuff that you want and vacate. Like, for me,
argumentative, man. It can't be argumentative.
It can't be argumentative. So you're right. And you know what? Sometimes, Damo, it's kind of hard because women are humans too. So to ask them to put out this list and to ask them to follow each one is just as wrong as asking a man to follow each one. But if you're close to my list, then maybe we can talk, you know. But you can't be way off left field, you know what I'm saying?
Because women and men are, you know, they both have the right to have preferences. Right. Females been having preferences, and we had to deal with it for a long time. You can't, you got to be this certain height. You got to make this kind of money. You can't have this in your background and that in your background and stuff. All the men saying, well, my background don't matter. So if I committed a crime 15 years ago, you can hold that against me. But you done slept with this many people way back in college. Oh, I can't hold that against you. So these double standards, no. You're allowed to have preferences. I'm allowed to have preferences. I'm allowed to dismiss you based on my preferences and vice versa. You have that right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never tell a female she can't have preferences. Yes, you're allowed to have them. It doesn't mean that, man, that you know, I have to abide by them or that person have to abide by them or whatnot. We could just go ahead and move our way. And let's see how far your preferences get you. That's
Absolutely. And I always still believe some things I just keep to my, not like HIV and stuff, but some things I keep to myself. So I was watching this program and the guy and the girl that was talking to each other. And it was okay for all the same-sex experience that this girl had. She talked about how many women she slept with, how many girls she didn't kiss. But then the guy said, well, I've only tried to sleep with a man once in my life in college. Do you know she left him? And he was like, well, what's the difference? You slept with women. Why can't I sleep with a guy? She said, no, it's different. Men shouldn't be sleeping with men. Only women can sleep with women. So
but you know why that is, though?
Standard.
But do you know why that is, though? Mm-hmm. It goes back to what I'm saying. When a man is having sex, period, he is looked at as the dominator. He's dominating. So either it's saying that he was dominating another man or he was being dominated by another man.
Absolutely.
And that's how it's looked at. That's why when y'all have all these partners, we look at it like you were being dominated by that man. And the man, we look at him as he was dominating you.
Right. So,
and it ain't fair.
So unless prostitution is your profession, he's right. That is how you kind of look at it. And it's like, if this is supposed to be your wife, you don't want. Now, I guess for me, let's say she got dominated way in New York and she married me in Tennessee. I don't think I would hold that against her because I don't think I'm ever going to New York anytime soon. But if you got dominated in Tennessee where I live and reside, then that's when that checklist starts to come out. You know what I'm saying? Because every time I go somewhere, I don't want 3 men in the corner talking about, you know, I had her, or my homeboy had her down the street, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't want that. Now, if it's your side chick or something just jump off, fine. Yeah, everybody had hers. You know, she's like a doorknob. Everybody gets a turn, right? But not your main gal, not the one you put the ring on. No.
Because we like to show our women off.
Absolutely.
The type of woman in the men's world, the type of woman you with says a lot about you. It garners respect from other men, right? So if you're with a woman that's, you know, real classy, very feminine, when other people come by, she got food ready for her, she's very hospitable, that garners respect amongst other men. Absolutely. But when you with somebody that got a past and they know her past, you lose respect based on that. I know a lot of females don't operate and they haven't had men around to understand that, but I'm just telling y'all, in the man sphere, that's how that works. The woman you with garners high respect. That's why dudes be trying to get the baddest woman that they can find, the prettiest woman, the woman that's smart. And I mean, not smart like she a know-it-all, but you know what I'm saying? You can confide in her and she can help assist you. Right?
Well, let me ask you this. What about a woman that's playing the game of the man, right? So you are a daughter or a woman, you have 4 brothers, you have 6 uncles, and none of them niggas ain't shit. All they do is just lie, steal, cheat, have baby mamas. So what do you know in this life when it's time for you to look for a good man when all the men in your life ain't never been shit?
And that's the messed up part, Sky. Because, man, if your energy isn't submissive, feminine, cooperative, all that stuff, and we all keep saying the same thing, I can't tell you. I got 25 years, right? And my word is just as valuable as a dude that have it's just as valuable as a dude that have no years. You know why? Because, man, it don't matter what kind of dude you are. A lot of females just don't want to listen. And they like, how do I get a good man? And it don't matter if a good man tell you how to get a good man, or a bad man tell you how to get a good man. Women, for the most part, would prefer to listen to people that want to tell them exactly what they want to hear. People want people to tell them, and they want people that's agreeable. I want somebody around me that's disagreeable so I can learn. You can't learn when you're around people who are agreeable.
All the time. You're right. Yeah.
You got to have somebody that's there, because then it give you another perspective. That's why, Sky, that's why me and you get along so well. Because we don't agree on everything. But man, Sky says a lot that even on the show, if I don't agree with it, I go back and I be like, damn.
Yeah, vice versa. I think about that too when we do the show. Like, he said some things that maybe you want to do research or figure out what he's saying. Yeah. But you know, I just know a lot of girls like that. And yes, some of them end up becoming studs and dating women, but a lot of them just been around a bunch of men that are just so negative. They don't know what a good man looks like. They daddy lied and cheated on their mama. They uncles lied and cheated on their aunties. They brothers out here abusing women. And so if this is all she see growing up, how does she know what a good man gonna look like?
And you know the sad part, a lot of them raise kids, a lot of them raise children, daughters, and they daughters have sons and raise them sons to be them kind of men. A lot of them raise their sons, and their sons become that kind of man. Like women, it goes back to the question we had, and I'm gonna move on because this next one's gonna be pretty good, right? But it goes back to this. Remember I was telling you this chick was like, man, coming from a single mother, you would think that these men would know how to would appreciate and know how to treat women.
Right.
Well, no, that's not the case, because they didn't get to see a man how he operates in treating their mom. Right. And a lot of times they end up blaming their mom for the dad not being around anyway. Remember we was talking about that? A lot of these dudes, they love their moms, but then they despise them also because they like, man, I'm getting treated by my baby mom. I wonder if you did my dad like this. You see what I'm saying? It's hindsight is 2020, man.
It actually is. It is. And again, some people are a product of their environment.
And I'm not saying that any of this is right. I'm not saying any of this is wrong. I'm just saying that this is what it is. I like to tell y'all things from a male's thinking point of view. That is the purpose of this whole podcast. To let you guys know. And we just two men. You might talk to other men that have different perspectives. Fine. You don't know me. You may not know Sky. So you can take what we saying with a grain of salt. We just saying we just want you to think about some of the things we say, and then you know, and try to grow from it.
Absolutely, different perspective of life.
Different perspectives. That's all it is.
That's it.
This next one, this lady said, there's a difference between some women are only wife on papers, and there's a difference between a woman that's a wife on paper and then a woman that's actually got the qualities of a wife. So, without further ado, listen to what she got to say.
Should a man get married when women leave so easily?
This is what I think. Most women are so bought into the vision of marriage that they never really consider what it means to be a wife. So then when they get into marriage and now they are a wife, they hate the role.
Oh, yes, and I talked about this on my platform before. You can be a wife on paper, but not a wife in your heart. A wife is so selfless and so self-sacrificing. She sacrifices herself for the betterment of her whole entire family, just as a husband does too. It is a very selfless act. And a lot of people get married and are getting married because they want to feel happy. And a lot of people just get married to the person that chooses them instead of for qualities and traits of a good leader and someone who is going to be willing to die for. Same with husbands. Some men get married off of lust. They lusted after the woman they were with. And this woman is not selfless or self-sacrificing in one bit. They just like you for your things, for what you flash to them. And so now you have this picture of, well, I'm just supposed to put stuff on the table for her and keep keep her happy, but you aren't feeling fulfilled or happy at all in your own marriage. That's because you're not with a selfless woman. You're not with a wife. You're just with a woman that wants her needs served and met. Your role as a wife and your role as a husband is to completely die to yourself and lay that on the cross and to fulfill whatever duty God has for you in this marriage.
I should have man.
All right. I think I've already talked about this, right?
Uh-huh.
You know what she was saying, you know, and I always say this is one of 5 qualities that if you are a guy that you should look for in a woman. And this is one of them qualities. She voiced it. She said it. I was glad to hear her say it. And that is a woman who is selfless and that sacrifices. She puts others before herself, right? I think a lot of people do things for validation. They don't do things for the real purpose of being married. They just want to be validated by everybody else. That's what the size of the ring is for. Because does the size of the ring really matter? No.
That's some people, yeah.
Do the church where you have the wedding at, oh, this is my special day. I got to go have it. And that's for everybody else. Do it really matter in the grand scheme of this you two being married? No. Because if you get divorced 5 years later, what value does that ring have in regards to the marriage?
No,
or the location you get married at?
Absolutely. So when you get married in the church or the courthouse, divorce is divorce.
There you go. So a lot of, you know, this is where you always say, where the vows is saying, no matter what, I'm going to stick with this person, no matter what. You see what I'm saying? We are all flawed. So we all have this understanding that we are flawed. If a person make a mistake, you should give them a chance to correct it.
Absolutely.
To grow from it. Some people, they don't want to work stuff. Well, how did you make it for 30? How did you make it for 25, 20 years and this and this and that? We didn't quit. Simple as that. We didn't quit. We worked it out. Well, how long were you married? Well, I was only married 7 years and I left because of this and this and that. Well, it didn't last because you quit. It's that simple.
I guess some people ain't built to be in marriages then.
They ain't. It is not for everybody. Because it goes back to the sky, what I'm saying. The majority of people are selfish. They only do things for validation, to look good, to rub it in other people's face. They don't even have their own interests at heart. Because, man, why wouldn't I want to get married? Yes. If my old lady, something happened to her, yes. Why wouldn't she want to have somebody there to assist her? She's sick. She can't get up for the day. Baby, I'll get you that suit. What kind of mess? Let me go ahead and rub your shoulders. Let me rub your feet. Let me go ahead and do this and that for you. It's the little stuff, right? That's the benefit of having a significant other. You see what I'm saying? Y'all add balance. But some people don't even have their own interests at heart to even understand that.
Yeah, sometimes you can shoot yourself in the foot. You absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, I don't think everybody's built to be in marriages, but I don't think everybody's built to be single. Like it's a fine line on the individual and what they're looking for. The old folks told me there's a top for every pot, right? So I guess depending on what you're looking for in life and what you're trying to do, you will find that significant other. If you only want to be married for 7 years, you'll find somebody who wants to be married for 7 years. If you want to be married for 25 years, you'll probably find somebody who wants to be married for 25 years. I'm just assuming that you're not out here lying and manipulating folks into something that you didn't give them a choice about. And I guess that's how I try to look at it.
Right. And here's the thing, too. I always say this, and I'm going to stick with this. I know people get tired of me saying this. But your results are always going to speak for themselves. Right. Regardless of opinions, the result that you're living in is always going to speak for itself, regardless of what you got to say about it or anybody else's opinion of it. The results always going to speak for themselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shouts out to Miss Queen of VA and Amnesia for joining me on Instagram. Yeah, y'all are watching the Nashville Caveman podcast on Instagram. And y'all, I'm not talking to myself. I'm literally talking to somebody else. You just can't see him. You can hear him, but you can't see him.
That's the same with my people on Bigo, man. Shout out to all my people on Bigo. I can't wait to see the numbers, man. I've been having so many people in and out. So some of y'all, I have not been able to communicate with y'all directly. But usually when we're running a podcast, because we're having a one-on-one conversation, it's hard to. But I promise, if y'all follow me, we have these discussions all the time. A lot of times I play music. A lot of times we're having discussions. So if y'all can, thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it. We always have these conversations. I'm glad that you guys are here. Y'all can have this conversation amongst yourselves in the comments. So feel free, man, to conversate on what we're conversating about.
Absolutely. So, Damo, are you worried about that? Because you can start a president, right? If they ban TikTok, what's stopping them from banning Bigo and Alibaba and AliExpress and all these other things that might be coming out of China? I don't know where Bigo is coming from, but
Bigo is out of India. It's out of India platform.
Gotcha. So, what is stopping them from stopping any of this stuff?
Well, I think what it is because of how strict the Chinese government is as far as like the information they're willing to release. Right. So they were collecting a lot of information and controlling a lot of information from TikTok. And that's what started this whole thing anyway. I can tell y'all from experience. When I initially got on TikTok, I grew fast. I had at one point 50,000 followers. And I literally should have had over 100,000. And the reason being, because I had a video that just organically, just on me alone, this without the shares, had 1.5 million views. It's the whole thing when the whole Delta virus issue came out, and Kamala Harris said, this virus, what she saying? She was like, the Delta virus travels faster. And then I clipped it off and I said, not faster than you open your legs. And it exploded. It was an ABC clip. It exploded, right? And it went viral. 1.5 million. And then with the shares, it was over 6 million views. And after that happened, because I said something that they didn't like, every time I would upload a video, they would start monitoring the content that I was putting up. They would shadow ban me until my videos, because instantly when you upload them, they're supposed to upload right away. Well, they would shadow ban them until they got to view them, and then they would release them. They was manipulating who could see my video, who couldn't. So they basically bullied me into actually having to start a whole new account, which they never let me get that many views again. I had countless that had at least over 100,000 views, and I didn't even reach that not even half of that when I started a new account. So with TikTok, certain people, they leave alone. Certain people, they viewed them as a threat for whatever reason. They would shadow ban them. There was a lot of that going on.
Right.
So America came in and was like, well, you're not going to make all this money, first and foremost, off of Americans, and then be controlling the narrative. So they were saying, you got to sell it, right? Well, with that sale, they also wanted China to release the algorithm also, which China is like, we're not releasing the algorithm because we don't want y'all to know what we've been doing. We're not going to give y'all all the information that we got. And so this is where it came in to ban the whole TikTok thing. And they said, well, you got to sell it. And if you don't sell it by this date, then we're going to ban it. And it didn't sell. So that's why it got banned. Well, Trump made an extension on it because he's trying to get the CEO to sell 50% of it to America and them the partnership. Well, if China don't agree to it, because they don't think that it's going to be an issue with the CEO agreeing to it. They think it's going to be an issue with China agreeing to it. Which, if that's the case, it's going to get banned all over again. So it's not out of the water. It still could get banned. But that's what happened with it.
Damn, that's crazy. Did not know that. Learned something new.
Hey, speaking of Trump, man, me and you was talking about this because we got about 10 more minutes, so I definitely want to get to this. I thought this was a good topic. Sky, I'm glad you came across it. Without further ado, they said that Trump said this, but Trump didn't say this. But I still think it's a good topic to discuss.
Absolutely.
So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to it, Sky.
Oh my goodness. Trump just tweeted, if you put your baby father on child support, right, you can't claim income taxes. He only can. Did you hear me loud and clear? Ladies, when you put your baby father on child support, you no longer can claim your child. Only the father can. Wow, that's big. But I think it's right. Because if he taking care of his child and he doing what he's supposed to do, and you still taking him downtown, and you still can claim the kids on your income tax, only one of y'all.
Let me say this. Let me cut this off, all right? Let me say this, because we got that far. And this is why I wanted to discuss this. You know what I think should happen, Sky?
What's that?
And I want, if the father is paying child support, that when you file them taxes, half should go to you and half should go to him. Only if he paying his child support though.
Yeah, because what if he's not? What if he's on paper to pay? He's court ordered to pay, but he ain't paid a dime. Does he still get the claim?
No, I don't think he should be able to get anything.
Okay, so let's say he's supposed to make 12 payments and he only made 8 out of 12 that year. Does he still get the claim?
I think it should be percentage based. So if he paid 8 out of 12, then he only get 3/4 of what he was supposed to get.
What if he paid child support all year, but he ain't the type that like to file income tax?
I don't even think it should matter if he filed it or not. I think
if he paid, she can't file. So if she can't, as if this is true, if she can't file and he ain't filed income taxes a day in his life, then who's going to claim the kids?
Well, let me tell you like this. I think if she got a file, right?
Right.
So I think she should be rewarded because especially if the kids is in her care, even if she ain't working, right? She got to run them to the doctor's appointments, run them to school and all that. So she should get income tax regardless if they in her care, right? Now, if they was in his care, then he should get it. You know what I'm saying? And then the rules would flip the other way around. But I think the fact that the kids is in her care, I think it should allocate half to her automatically. I think as far as he goes, it should be based on if he make all his payments, he get his full half. If he only makes 3/4 of his payments, then he only get 3/4 of what's owed to him. If he only make half his payments, he only get half of what's owed to him.
Right. Well, there was a girl who was saying something about this, that last year or the year before, her best friend claimed her kids and ran off with the money. And then the next year, her baby daddy claimed the kids and ran off with the money. So really, you can't trust nobody claiming your kids. And then if you let people claim your kids that's not the mother or the father, you might be in trouble with the IRS. But this if what we're talking about, the narrative, if this ever becomes true, what this guy just said, and if I'm paying child support all year long, I've made all my payments, right? All $1,000 a month. And I'm legally the only one who can claim these child this year, right? Because I paid my paid my child support. And I'm like, you know what? I owe the IRS. I never claim these kids. But then, how are they gonna get claimed? Because I'm by law, I'm the one who can claim them because I paid the child support. She can't claim them, but I don't file income taxes no way. So how does that work?
And Sky, there's going to be some people that come with this. They're going to come with this angle, and I already know. Well, he only pays $30. You know what I'm saying? And I'm, on the hook for the. Then guess what? Then I think in that case, then you need to take it up with the judge. Okay, I think you need to take it up with the judge. It's not on him. That's on the judge and the lawyer. All right, to rectify and make it right. Also, with that said, I think a guy should be able to sign away his full rights as the father and relieving him of all financial duties. I think he should have the right to do that. Now, a lot of people may not say that's fair, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think it's fair if he want to keep the kids and you don't, and you can go ahead and get rid of them.
You know how many guys would be out here fathering women that can have sex, get women pregnant, and just sign a piece of paper and say, okay, that baby is biologically mine, but I don't want nothing to do with it. Goodbye. You know what I'm saying? Like the number of single parent homes will quadruple now. You know what? I can just spread my seed and don't have to worry about it. Maybe.
Because maybe what it would force women to do is say, you know what? We're going to have protected sex until we marry.
Why are they not doing that now? Why does it take the government to have to come in?
Because they don't have this? Because they don't have what you just said? Because that doesn't exist? If that existed where dudes were really allowed to sign away their rights, right? Relieving them of all financial obligations, it would change the course of how a lot of females move. I guarantee it. Maybe not at first, but when enough of them females seeing other females suffering, right? I mean, really suffering, they be like, hold on, I ain't going through that.
Absolutely. I mean, but sometimes I see common sense. It just ain't common no more. Because for me, why would it take that for me to realize that this is what I need to be doing anyway? I shouldn't have the government in my life, and I shouldn't have to be online listening to other people suffer, because what did I do before the internet existed, right? So what did these women do before the internet existed and knew that other people suffering? So common sense to me is something you're supposed to get as you walk this earth. Wisdom, learning, right from wrong.
Hey, Sky.
If these women have to let a law pass that a man can just shoot up your walls and then sign a piece of paper and walk away, what does that say about women sometimes? Because women growing up are supposed to mature quicker than men, right? Most women are supposed to be smarter than men. So what is it saying about when it comes to women, sex, and kids then?
It goes back to this, Sky. And this goes for boys and girls. They can see their moms struggle being a single mom.
Absolutely.
And the boys will create them same single parent homes with their kids. And them women, them little girls will grow up to be just like their mom. And you would think that being right there, seeing firsthand the disadvantages of not having that other parent, that you would say, you know what, I'm going to do things different. But in more cases than not, that's not the case.
Answer this for me, Damo. I saw this with my own two eyes. There was a girl who was 21 with 3 kids, 3 baby daddies struggling, right? Her younger sister was 16 watching all this. What about by the time the younger sister turned 21, she had 3 kids by 3 different baby daddies and struggling? And I'm thinking to myself, did you not see what your sister was going through? Why did you in your head think that this was normal? It was cool. It was cute.
You know why it's fine? Because when you know you got backup enforcement, aka the government, no matter how bad the situation get, I know the government going to come in and provide housing, food, medical insurance, and blase. You don't care because you're like, man, there's no consequence. So you don't see the consequence in your behavior and your action. So if there was a consequence, meaning that there's a chance you can have a child with a dude that signed away his rights,
Right.
relieving him of all financial obligation and responsibility, then that changes things a little bit, doesn't it?
Right. That's
what it
crazy.
is.
That is absolutely crazy. My God. But if because I've seen other videos about what this guy's saying about this Trump and child support. But if it does become to some type of law, or the states are able to choose how they want to do their child support, it's just crazy because people talking about, well, I don't want the government in my business. Well, if you don't want the government in your business, one, quit having kids, or two, have kids with a man where y'all can sit down like adults and say, I got them this weekend, you got them that weekend, I'll pay for this, you pay for that. They don't do that.
You know what's so funny?
Into their lives, I'm tired of government. Yeah, go ahead.
You know what's so funny, and I'm gonna make this before we get off, right? People say they don't want the government in their business, but then they apply for all government benefits.
Right.
Explain to me, how does that make sense? You don't want the government in your business, but then you don't have no problem getting assistance from who?
The government.
So it just doesn't make sense.
And they don't stop. They having 6, 7, 8 kids. Hunter, what's going on, brother? 6, 7, 8 kids by 6, 7, 8 different baby daddies. And it was just crazy. And all these little boys or girls or whatever your kids are doing, just seeing you bring in different men, so they're gonna go out here and think that's the way of the world.
And that's why they look at it, they be like, Mama did okay. And I don't be like, Mama did okay or Daddy did okay. So it's not gonna hurt me.
Absolutely. There'll never be a utopia. We ain't gonna never have a perfect world. It's that the things that were taboo with me and you were growing up is now coming out of the darkness, you know, into the light. And everybody that's in the light is like, you know what? This is pretty cool. Like, no, it ain't pretty cool. This is why I was in the dark back in the day. Then it's coming into the light, and y'all thinking, well, you know what? This is okay. We can understand. No, what are you understanding? This is not helping society whatsoever.
Nope.
You know.
All right, man. So you got a show tonight, man. Let them know what time the show is and whatnot. What's going on for you later on?
Yeah, buddy. Don't forget tonight, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. The D Bling Radio Show is going. We're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to play some music from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. at www.offtopradio.com and www.offtopradio.com. So, and remember, if you have music or if you know anybody that has music, please tell them to send it to me at sky.black@gmail.com. That is sky.black@gmail.com. Let me give a shout out to all my Instagram people. Let me give a shout out to Felicia. Again, Felicia, my prayers is with Poe. I know he broke his foot. Give a shout out to Trill, Phantom, Country Girl, Johnny Demento, Amnesia, Miss Queen of VA. Miss Queen of VA, if you're still on here, if you have any more music, please send it to me. Let me give a shout out to Hunter, Faith, David Lax Jr., Miranda G, Wyatt, and I don't know who host is. Some guy from YouTube that says host, but he said, hey, Miranda G, so it's something totally different. But anyway, thank y'all for watching.
That was me.
I know it was you. Okay. I just want to thank all y'all for tuning in each and every week. You know, please like, share, comment. Let us know what you think about the show and whether you agree or disagree. We want to know your opinions. And, you know, please tune in each and every week, man. We want to make Tuesdays the best day of the week.
Most definitely, man. I want to take this time to thank all the viewers on Vigo. I appreciate you guys, man. Also, man, everybody that's on all platforms, if y'all could do us a favor, after this show is over with, you can catch the recap and please share it with your friends, family. And if you are a fan of it, we appreciate you guys being here. I wanted to just leave with this. The only thing guaranteed in life is death. So you worry about the things that you can control, the things that you can't. Don't worry about it. And as long as you woke up on this half of the dirt, you have won. You absolutely won. So we appreciate you guys being here. Man, please, same time next week. Our show starts every Tuesday, 1 p.m. EST, 12 CST. All right. And so, and prayers go out to the people in California dealing with them fires.
Absolutely.
Real quick, man. Half the country is burning like an STD. The other half is cold like divorce court. So,
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Pray for all of us, really. Ain't nowhere you can go and just be all right. You need to
I gotta also
burn.
Give a shout out this weekend, if it's going to happen, Inhumane Championship Wrestling in Corrigan, Arkansas, or is it Paragon, Arkansas? I can't never remember. Down in Arkansas, I'll be down there wrestling ICW Inhumane Championship Wrestling in Arkansas this Saturday, January 25th, if weather permits. So I'll be glad to see y'all down there.
All right, y'all, man. We appreciate you guys. Peace, love. We out. Until next week, man, make sure y'all follow us on our social media platforms and just let everybody know about us, all right?
Absolutely.
Peace, love. We out. Till next week.